Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 4, Book 56, number 810. Narrated by Anas bin Malik. The Prophet noticed the absence of Thabit bin Kay. A man said, "O Allah's Apostle, I shall bring you his news." So he went to him and saw him sitting in his house drooping his head, sadly. He asked Thabit, "What's the matter?" Thabit replied, "An evil situation. A man used to raise his voice over the voice of the Prophet, and so all his good deeds have been annulled and he is from the people of hell." The man went back and told the Prophet that Thabit had said so and so. The sub-narrator, Musa bin Anas, said, "The man went to Thabit again with glad tidings. The Prophet said to him, 'Go and say to Thabit, you are not from the people of fire, but from the people of paradise.'" Volume 4, Book 56, number 811. Narrated by Al-Bara bin Azib. A man recited Surat Al-Kahf in his prayer, and in the house there was a riding animal which got frightened and started jumping. The man finished his prayer with taslim, but behold, a mist or a cloud hovered over him. He informed the Prophet of that, and the Prophet said, "O so and so. Recite, for this mist or cloud was a sign of peace descending for the recitation of Quran." Volume 4, Book 56, number 812. Narrated by Al-Bara bin Azib. Abu Bakr came to my father who was at home and purchased a saddle from him. He said to Azib, "Tell your son to carry it with me." So I carried it with him, and my father followed us so as to take the price of the saddle. My father said, "O Abu Bakr, tell me what happened to you on your night journey with Allah's Apostle, during migration." He said, "Yes, we traveled the whole night and also the next day till midday, when nobody could be seen on the way, because of the severe heat. Then there appeared a long rock having shade beneath it, and the sunshine had not come to it yet. So we dismounted there, and I leveled a place and covered it with an animal hide or dry grass for the Prophet to sleep on, for a while. I then said, 'Sleep, O Allah's Apostle, and I will guard you.' So he slept and I went out to guard him. Suddenly I saw a shepherd coming with his sheep to that rock with the same intention we had when we came to it. I asked him, 'To whom do you belong, O boy?' He replied, 'I belong to a man from Medina or Mecca.' I said, 'Do your sheep have milk?' He said, 'Yes.' I said, 'Will you milk for us?' He said, 'Yes.' He caught hold of a sheep and I asked him to clean its teat from dust, hairs and dirt. The sub-narrator said that he saw Al-Bara striking one of his hands with the other, demonstrating how the shepherd removed the dust. The shepherd milked a little milk in a wooden container, and I had a leather container which I carried for the Prophet to drink and perform the ablution from. I went to the Prophet, hating to wake him up, but when I reached there, the Prophet had already awakened. So I poured water over the middle part of the milk container, till the milk was cold. Then I said, "Drink, O Allah's Apostle." He drank till I was pleased. Then he asked, "Has the time for our departure come?" I said, "Yes." So we departed after midday. Surah bin Malik followed us, and I said, "We have been discovered, O Allah's Apostle." He said, "Don't grieve, for Allah is with us." The Prophet invoked evil on him, i.e. Surah, and so the legs of his horse sank into the earth up to its belly. The sub-narrator, Sahi, is not sure whether Abu Bakr said, "It sank into solid earth." Surah said, "I see that you have invoked evil on me. Please invoke good on me, and by Allah, I will cause those who are seeking after you to return." The Prophet invoked good on him and he was saved. Then, whenever he met somebody on the way, he would say, "I have looked for him here in vain." So he caused whomever he met to return. Thus Surah fulfilled his promise. Volume 4, Book 56, number 813. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. The Prophet paid a visit to a sick Bedouin. The Prophet, when visiting a patient, used to say, "No harm will befall you. May Allah cure you. May Allah cure you." So the Prophet said to the Bedouin, "No harm will befall you. May Allah cure you." The Bedouin said, "You say, may Allah cure me? No, for it is a fever which boils in the body of an old man, and will lead him to the grave." The Prophet said, "Yes, then may it be as you say." Volume 4, Book 56, number 814. Narrated by Anas. There was a Christian who embraced Islam and read Surah al-Baqarah and al-Imran, and he used to write the revelations for the Prophet. Later on he returned to Christianity again, and he used to say, "Muhammad knows nothing but what I have written for him." Then Allah caused him to die, and the people buried him. But in the morning they saw that the earth had thrown his body out. They said, "This is the act of Muhammad and his companions." They dug the grave of our companion and took his body out of it because he had run away from them. They again dug the grave deeply for him, but in the morning they again saw that the earth had thrown his body out. They said, "This is an act of Muhammad and his companions." They dug the grave of our companion and threw his body outside it, for he had run away from them. They dug the grave for him as deep as they could, but in the morning they again saw that the earth had thrown his body out. So they believed that what had befallen him was not done by human beings and had to leave him thrown on the ground. Volume 4, Book 56, number 815. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's Apostle said, "When Hosrau perishes, there will be no more Hosrau after him, and when Caesar perishes, there will be no more Caesar after him. By him in whose hands Muhammad's life is, you will spend the treasures of both of them in Allah's cause." Volume 4, Book 56, number 816. Narrated by Jabir bin Samura. The Prophet said, "When Hosrau perishes, there will be no more Hosrau after him, and when Caesar perishes, there will be no more Caesar after him." The Prophet also said, "You will spend the treasures of both of them in Allah's cause." Volume 4, Book 56, number 817. Narrated by Ibn Abbas. Musaylama al-Kadhdab, i.e. the liar, came in the lifetime of Allah's Apostle with many of his people, to Medina, and said, "If Muhammad makes me his successor, I will follow him." Allah's Apostle went up to him with Thabit bin K bin Shams, and Allah's Apostle was carrying a piece of a date palm leaf in his hand. He stood before Musaylama and his companions, and said, "If you ask me even this piece of a leaf, I would not give it to you. You cannot avoid the fate you are destined to, by Allah. If you reject Islam, Allah will destroy you. I think that you are most probably the same person whom I have seen in the dream." Abu Hurairah told me that Allah's Apostle said, "While I was sleeping, I saw, in a dream, 2 gold bracelets round my arm, and that worried me too much. Then I was instructed divinely in my dream to blow them off, and so I blew them off. And they flew away. I interpreted the 2 bracelets as symbols of 2 liars who would appear after me. And so one of them was Al-Ansi and the other was Musaylama al-Kadhdab from Al-Yamama.